Good day, everyone. This is Polly Needles, and welcome to DDO Players News, where we take a look at the latest news in DDO and on the tabletop. And please welcome my co-host from Ravenloft, Dracula.
Hey now, everybody. How's it going?
Hello there, Drac. Have you recovered from the Gen Con bustle?
Yeah, kind of. Sort of. Half and half. 50-50.
Half and half. All right.
Yeah, Gen was great. We're going to do a wrap up of that here in a little bit. And all of that fun stuff. But it's good to be back.
Now let's head into our news this week, and it looks like we do have a little up because the DDO people at Standing Stones are going to be starting a hardcore league permadeath server. Well, they're avoiding the word permadeath. A hardcore league on a special server that will go for 3 months. And if that's not enough, there's also going to be something called the Alchemist coming up.
Yeah,
What about the hardcore first?
There is a lot of stuff happening in DDO, and this was all announced at Gen Con. We actually got to break this news. I posted this soon. Well, okay, let's say about a half hour after it happens, something like that. But yeah, the major thing that they broke is the Hardcore League, which, as you said, is technically a permadeath server, but they are avoiding using the term permadeath. What this is going to be is you are going to have a all new server that you can go on. It's open to VIPs only. So if you're a VIP, you can go on. You start at level 1. Everybody starts at level 1. You only get 1 life per character. Character death on the hardcore server during the league will be permanent. It does not matter how you die. If it's through normal play, if it's through one-shots, if it's through lag, disconnects, as Standing Stone says, earthquakes, power outages, act of gods, maybe a ninja attack on your play area. It doesn't matter. If you die, you are dead. Character death is permanent during the league on this server. When you die, you are going to be sucked into the nether realm, where you only exist as a spirit. You cannot be resurrected by any means. There is no res shrines, no res spells, no spirit cakes, no jack jibbers, no nothing. You're dead. You're dead.
Anyway, Urk still is a Jack Jiver, so you know.
That's right. So, yeah, this is not for the faint of heart. This is a hardcore in every sense of the term. But if you manage to survive long enough, you're going to get some rewards for that. If you make it to level 5, you're going to get your name in the Chronicle.
Well, that doesn't sound too difficult.
Chronicle is going to be about 500 pages long, I think.
Right. I don't
We'll
think a lot of
see.
people are going to make that one.
We'll see how this works out. And then if you make it to 20, you are going to be immortalized in the Hall of Heroes. Sounds like they're going to have a plaque you can click on, and you can see
so
that.
both names will be on it.
Yes. Also, some favor rewards.
Ooh.
If you reach 1,750 favor, you're going to get the Eyes of Darkness cosmetic.
Hold on, can you actually get to 1750 in 3 months?
If you really grind your ass off, sure. I mean, you could. It's going to be a lot of frickin' grinding, but you could do it.
Well, no, I can't do it, but there's somebody out there who can.
Okay, yeah. Let's see. Other people other than Pine Leaf could probably do it. So yeah, that's going to be the Eyes of Darkness cosmetic. For 5,000 favor, the Bloody Footprints. Oh, I want those so bad.
Well, yes, but that's 3 times worse than the one we just said is going to be very hard.
Well, nobody said hardcore was easy, Pine Leaf. And then for those Reaper players, you get 10 Reaper enhancement points. You're going to get a special cosmetic cloak. And also at 20, you'll get a cosmetic cloak as well. Also, if you reach level 20 with your character, you're going to get a Blood Reaper pet, which I also want. And just note about these cosmetics and the pets. These will be available on all of the servers. You just have to get the reward on the Hardcore League server, and that unlocks it on your account. So you can kind of show off your hardcoreness, as it were, on the other servers.
And right, so 20 Reaper enhancement points. And what earns you a Reaper enhancement?
Just playing through Reaper and getting Reaper experience. When you play Reaper, you get experience, and then you get Reaper experience on top of that. So you just have to play Reaper, and then you eventually have to play more Skull Reaper. You have to go 1, and then you got to go 2 and 3 to get more Reaper experience. So yes.
I'm just thinking, how many people there who can survive on a hardcore server in Reaper?
I bet you there is going to be a ton of people, because people have been wanting something like this.
Yeah, so, but they don't have 20 lives to fall onto.
Right, and that's the kicker. That's the thing where we're going to see how good the good players are. They're not going to have any past lives. They're not going to have any of their gear. They're not going to have any of the money that they can pass on to the server. You can't pass gear. You're starting at level 1 no matter what. Even if you are an iconic character, you're going to start at level 1. You cannot vet status your character. So I'm seriously, this is like, and another thing which I think is kind of cool about this is higher level characters, when they die, it is going to be announced as a world broadcast. So you're going to see, I think, how it's going to work. I haven't actually, this is testing on the Mania right now. I haven't jumped on to test it, but from what it sounded like, is it's going to say, so-and-so level blank died. So you can see all these people that, he was 19, so close. But yeah, they actually haven't said what level that's going to start at. So they are still deciding that.
Okay, so we won't get an announcement that says Piney died at level 6.
Probably not. We will mourn you nonetheless.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. This is set, like I said, it's on the Mania right now. It is running, if you're listening to this live, it's on the Mania until this evening, and then it is going to be shut down. This is going to start, I do believe it is August 16th, I think.
16th would be a Friday.
I do believe that is when it starts. Of course, I do not have that information in front of me, because that is on my other computer. I have a press release. But anyway, yes. So there you go. If you want a challenge, you want a hardcore challenge, check out the Hardcore League. And I know Pineleaf did kind of mention it before, too. This server, once it goes live, will be open for 90 days. We did interview them. They said they're not opposed to bringing this back as like an event. They have no plans to make this a permanent server, though. This is not, and I do want to stress the fact, too, I've heard other people call it this, and some people refer to this as this. This is not a progression server. This is a Hardcore League server. So you have 90 days, and then the server goes away.
And the server goes away.
Yeah, it might, like I said, it might come back if this proves popular. They said they're not opposed to bringing it back. They have no plans to do that right now. Yeah. But just want to stress the fact this is not a progression server. A lot of people were calling this a progression server. Yeah. Not what this is.
Yeah. One of the things that they are going to be taking into account whether or not it comes back is what it does to the community.
Right.
If it does something bad to the community, it is not going to be brought back no matter how popular it is.
That's my only fear in all of this is the community is already kind of segmented now between people that people that only run Reaper and then people that so I'm afraid this is going to segment the community even more.
Anyone who plays only Reaper isn't going to live very long in that server.
You would be surprised, Pineleaf. There is some really, really good players that really know how to tweak their characters. They really know how to build their characters. They have builds. I would bet you would be surprised that you're going to see some people playing only on Reaper on this server, and they are going to make it very, very high level. I bet. I'm calling it right
All
now.
all right.
I think there's some good enough players that are going to be able to do it, even without their past lives and all of that we previously talked about.
All right. So as soon as they hit a high enough level, because I think you have to be a minimum level in order to Reaper.
I think so.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
I don't
do
think you
enough
can run
Reaper. Yeah.
Quarthos in Reaper, right?
No, you can't. I want to say Reaper starts at like level 8 or 9, I think. But like I said, I don't do enough Reaper. I mean, I dabble in it a little bit, so I don't know for sure what level it is. I'm sure somebody
Well,
will say something in
be
the
sure
comments
I don't.
and
You
tell
be
us
sure I
how
don't
dumb
know.
we are. That's right. Have you actually ever ran anything in Reaper at all?
I think you once dragged me into one. I
Did
think
I?
we
I
took a
knew I
quick
threatened to
look
do
and
it.
then ran the other direction.
I knew I threatened to do it one time. I didn't know if I actually did do it or not. So
I believe it was the briefest excursion it could possibly have been.
somehow that sounds about right.
All right. Well, that is what is going on with the Hardcore League, and we'll see how that works because that will be starting in about a week. And I'm sure there are people out there who are going to just rush right in, and we'll see how fast people see who's the first person to reach level 20.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see for sure.
Now let's head into the other announcement that there is going to be a new class, the Alchemist, who is going to show those artificers how you really throw flasks.
Exactly, that's right. It's going to be a flask throw off, I think, on the servers. Yeah, this is a flask chucking class. You are going to be able to concoct your own potions. You're going to be able to do healing potions, damaging potions, also potions that are going to buff your party members. You're going to have it's. We did an interview, which we'll talk about in a little bit as well too, with SSG, and Linabelle kind of went over this. This sounds amazing. I was not excited about this class at all until Linabelle started talking about it, and then I'm like, oh yeah, this sounds amazing.
I
So
know. When I first heard it, I was saying, "Oh, well, okay, next." And I was like, "What?"
yeah, that's kind of how it was. I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, I know, about the Alchemist in 5e. That's fine. And then I was like, holy crap, this sounds amazing. But yeah, as I said, you're going to be able to concoct your own potions. And she also did mention that you are going to have over 90 spells you can choose from. 90.
90 spells. All right.
And then you are going to, as we said, throw potions as part of their spells. The nice thing is, though, you can either throw them like in the air, you can roll them, you can lob them, you can throw them like a baseball. There's several different ways you can throw these, and I guess it depends on the situation, and it depends on what the actual potion is that you're throwing, how it's going to be thrown. So that's kind of cool too. They are going to rely heavily on poisons as well, which is exciting because I like to do poison on my rogue assassin. So now I might have a alchemist that will do my poison bidding as well. So yeah, so this is going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to this. This won't be out until the next update, so not anytime soon. I'm sure we'll get a Lamania preview of this as well too before it comes out. But all this was discussed in the interview that we did with him, which I guess we can kind of talk about now since we've already kind of brought it up. But the day after all these big announcements, I sat down with executive producer Severlin, community manager Cordovan, and developer Linabelle, and we talked about all this. We talked about the Hardcore League. We talked about the Alchemist. We also talked about the upcoming Keep on the Borderlands. Talked about the game in general a little bit. talked about how they thought Sharn did, talked about some of the new loot that's coming in the next pack. It was quite the good conversation, I think, and we gleaned some new information about the Alchemist and the Hardcore League server out of it. So I tried to get more, but Suburlan just wasn't very talkative that Saturday afternoon. I know. He was all talkative Friday night, and then he said he spilled everything he could spill that in. I'm like, come on, there's not one little thing. But no, couldn't get anything else. So exciting things in store for DDO, that is for sure.
Then let's head into our Chronicle issue 345, where this time it looks like we've got a. I think that Minotaur has the bigger sword.
Yes, he does. He wins that battle. And that is, of course, from Pirates Cove, because Pirates Cove, or Crystal Cove, I should say. I call it Pirates Cove because, let's face it, it's all piratey. Crystal Cove is the official name, is back. So that's why that is on the Chronicle cover.
Okay.
So yes, if you're into Crystal Cove, now through August the 18th, FYI. Jump right into our Chronicle, though. We, DDO players, got a shout out for the interview that I was just speaking of when we sat down at Gen Con to talk about all the fun stuff. So if you haven't listened to the interview, take a listen to it. It's about 25-ish minutes, somewhere around in there. So take some time, listen to it. I thought it was a pretty good interview, and I enjoyed talking to all of them at Gen Con. Also, don't forget, D&D Kasplat is returning Sunday, August 11th to D&D Night on DDO Stream. It is Season 2. A new adventure is beginning as the party, emboldened by their success, investigates an organization of slave traders. But powerful forces have taken note, and new enemies are emerging. So you can join us this Sunday night. And that, of course, is the game that Patrick is the DM for. I am playing in that. Rent, Tay, Lessa, Sabajade, and Mithri, and Nobob from SSG is all in that game. That is an amazing time. We enjoy playing in that game, and things happen each week, so you never know what's going to happen.
Things happen each week. Well, I hope so. Otherwise,
it's the. Let's put it this way. That is the most dysfunctional party ever. But somehow we work together and it all works out. If you've watched any of the episodes, you know what I mean when I say that we are dysfunctional.
You mean even more dysfunctional than the group you run on tabletop?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That group is like perfect compared to like our group. It's, oh, yeah.
More dysfunctional than a certain group of misfits?
Yep. Oh,
Ooh.
Trust me, yes. Yes.
Okay.
Which is hard to top. And if you guys, that's coming soon. We are recording a show, but that's what that little hint was about. And that group is pretty bad, but yes. More on that as we get near the release of that. But so join us for a D&D Kasplat on DDO Stream. That is this Sunday night. We will be playing some D&D live. Axel is taking a look at the hardcore server. He's got a new video up, so click to watch that. And Nim, I should have tried to look at this before I was going to say it live. Nimnanian Orlabet? Sure, why not? Of Orion and Sarlota has a YouTube channel where they put up some D&D videos, so check that out. And I'm sorry I butchered your name, but it is well established at this point. I mispronounce names. That is what I do on the show. That is my role on the show, is to mispronounce your name in the Chronicle. So as always, you're welcome. Let's jump into our fan site news section. Brock and Friends. See, I can't mispronounce that because that's easy to say. Brock and Friends is bringing the roleplay back to DDO. Check out that show. Cannot say enough about Brock and Friends. I love watching Brock and Friends. Such a great stream. We got a shout out for our episode last week. Bakla Gore is bringing Fridays on Ice every Friday night to DDO stream. Doug Glendower, of course, runs A Barred Life. Damsels of DDO are going back to Ravenloft, so click over to watch them run through Ravenloft. The D&D Masterminds of Sharn has a review over on BioBreak. Here we go. I'm going to mispronounce this name too. Watch Gaiaman with Reyna on DDO stream. Again, you're welcome. DDOPL folks are continuing their Warforged adventures. I love watching that show too. Can't understand a word they say because they speak in Polish, but by God, they're fun to watch. And Mickey, of course, is raiding in week 134 of her raids. So we have a Chronicle comment, Pine Leaf, as we always do. Are you ready?
Very well.
Here we go. Tell me about your most favorite pirate adventure.
My most favorite pirate adventure. I'm wondering, this is going pretty far back, so you might not know of these or remember these or whatever.
Okay.
Do you remember the old Scott Adams text adventure series?
Vaguely. I have a slight memory of such things.
Yes, the very, very first of those adventures in that series was called Adventureland, I believe is what they called it, and it was very much a pirate theme all the way through it. It didn't say DDO. It just
No, it just says your most favorite pirate adventure.
Yes.
So yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
I was trying to think about this, and I can't think of anything where I've ever ran a pirate adventure, believe it or not. I love pirates, but I cannot think of any answer for this. So this week has me stumped.
It has you stumped?
Exactly. Yeah, I was just trying to think, because I've never really played a pirate in tabletop at all. Was trying to think.
Well, nothing in Three Barrel Cove, even?
Well, yeah, but I mean, those are... I can't think of anything that my most favorite thing ever happened in there, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an answer for this week. So the one time I think I've only, this might be the first, maybe the second time I've never had an answer for the Chronicle comment, but I can't think of anything. We do have our screenshot of the week, though. Verena encounters butterflies and wishes everyone a great summer. That is the 427th DDO screenshot of the week. That is a pretty sweet little screenshot from Verena.
Looks like she also encountered a peacock. Now, is that the mechanical peacock?
Yes. And then the wings she has is either the ASMR wings, or they might be some Reaper wings. I'm not sure which, because they both kind of look similar to me. But that is a cool screenshot.
There are SMR wings? I guess
Yeah, it's one of the skills you have. I don't think you ever used it. Because when you were playing your ASMR in our Heaven and Hell series, I never seen you use that skill.
I didn't think... thought I took quite a bit on the SMR. Maybe I didn't take it.
Yeah. I used it all the time when I was playing my ASMR when I don't even remember what we were running when I was running my ASMR, but I used that skill all the time. And don't forget, this weekend's bonus is the DDO bonus days. It's bringing you a +5 VIP XP bonus through August the 11th. And Crystal Cove has returned, as we said, available through August the 18th.
Then let's go and see what is on sale, and I would presume there is something appropriately piratey on sale this week?
You would think, but no.
Oh.
It's the Store More Loot. Well, I guess Store More Loot sale. Loot
Oh, yeah.
pirate. Okay,
that sounds piratey.
Kind of a stretch, but yeah, we'll allow it. 25% off character banks. Select shared banks, inventory space, and bags. That is through August the 15th. Our coupon code is going to be a long-lasting Supreme Ability Potion. You get 5 of those. Coupon code BUFFALL, BUFFALL. That runs through August the 15th. Ooh, and Sam Berg is in the chat, has a great answer, which I did not even think of, but I'm going to steal his answer because I agree with him for the Chronicle comment. And he says Monkey Island 1, 2, and 3. Yes. Those games were amazing. Yes, the Monkey Island games. How could I forget those? Thumbs up, Sam. I'm stealing your answer, buddy. Okay, I'll borrow your answer and I'll answer it the same as you. How's that?
All right. I suppose you get that. Then let's head into our site news where we are going to have a little change in our schedule.
Yes. Again.
Again. Thursday didn't work out.
Yeah, we used to record on Monday nights, and then I had this bright idea. It's like, let's switch to Thursdays, because then if some news drops, it's usually towards the end of the week, so we'll be able to get on that right away. Well, not hasn't worked out that great. No real news has dropped, and plus I forgot every third Thursday I have something. So every third Thursday we had to move the show, and then that means we had to do it on the weekend, and then trying to find a time we can record on the weekend that works for both Pine and I is kind of weird sometimes. So sometimes it's like you never know when the show's going to come out. So alas, I regret to inform you, we're moving back to Monday nights.
Oh, well.
So the podcast will be recording on Monday nights at 7 o'clock. We are going to keep the 7 o'clock start time because that seems to work out okay. So you can catch the live show Monday nights at 7 o'clock, and then the podcast version will release at 10 a.m. on Wednesday as it used to. So that'll give me a day and a half to edit it and whatever, and I don't have to rush around and get it released the next day. So forget this little experiment we did here ever happened. We'll just forget about it. So what that is also going to mean then is the playtime that Pineleaf and I do, which we have been doing Sharon Heaven and Hell, but we wrap that up. We will be starting season 2 of that when the new adventure pack comes out that has more Sharon Quest. But we do just always stream when we play. That was normally on Monday nights. Well, that's going to be on Thursday nights now. And then, again, it'll be every Thursday night other than the third Thursday because I'm not available Thursday evenings on the third Thursdays of every month. So that won't be as big a deal. We just won't stream that night. So hopefully this will make the podcast release more consistently because we won't have to either A, switch days around like we have been doing or not have a show at all, which we've had a couple times because we couldn't find a good time to record. So, yeah. So we're going back to Monday nights. We apologize. It's all my fault. It's all my fault. Yes, Sam Burke says, just like a ball in a pinball game, bouncing between the days in the week. Yes. Yeah. But I do admit it is all my fault. Every time we have switched show recordings or times or anything has been because of me, because just things in life. But hopefully this will make everything more consistent. Usually Mondays are pretty cool for me. So we'll see how it works out. So, and then I know we were talking, did we decide, are we going to record Monday evening? So you might get 2 podcasts back to back pretty close. I'm not sure if we ever actually decided that or not.
Yeah, we are.
We are. Okay. So you're going to get this episode tomorrow. It will release on the podcast feed and YouTube on Friday. And then next Wednesday, you're going to get another podcast. So, yay, you're going to get 2 podcasts in the span of like 3 or 4 days. So, yay for podcasting. Yay. Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. So, yeah. So, we'll see. So, there you go.
Then let's into other news. Let's see what's coming in from the dungeon. Oh, no, we have a Gen Con wrap-up first?
We do, because Gen Con was last weekend. And we recorded, or I should say I recorded, I guess we, DDO players collectively, but actually it was just me, recorded like 18 videos. And it was a good time. We had some good conversations with game companies. And then I got home and I started to edit the videos, and then it wasn't such a good time. Yeah. I had some tech issues. So of the 18 videos we recorded, maybe 3 of them I'm going to be able to release.
Well, that means you're going to
Wah,
have to
wah.
remember everything on there and turn them into transcripts, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, so not sure what's going on. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it is the mics or the mic mixer that I have. But a lot of the videos, either you cannot hear the person or you can't hear me. So that leads me to the logical assumption it is going to be the mic's issue. So I don't know. I'm going to check that out. I apologize for that. As I said, we recorded 18 videos. Probably I can salvage about 3 of them. The one, you're just not going to be able to hear me, but it was a really good conversation, and they showed off some new games. So I'm going to release that one anyway. And then we did have a glitch with the camera that I knew about in one of the videos. So that one I am going to release, but it's going to be weird because you're going to just jump. We're going to jump right into the action. There's going to be no like build up because I talked to Stephanie Straw of Funko Games, and we kind of talk about Funko Games a little bit as a game company. So you're not going to hear any of that, unfortunately, because it just jumps right into the game. But that I did know happened because the camera for some reason stopped recording. Which, funny side note to that, a while back, maybe about a year and a half ago, Stephanie Straw and I actually recorded a interview that I was going to release, and something happened to that, and I lost that complete interview. Oh, my hard drive crashed. And I lost that complete interview. And as soon as we started recording, the camera stopped. So I looked at Stephanie and I was like, we're cursed. Either I'm cursed or you're cursed, because every time we record something, something breaks. My words were too prophetic. Too prophetic. So yes, but yeah, you'll start to see these videos. I'm going to hopefully get those up within the next couple of days, the 3 that I can release. Unfortunately, the other ones, yeah, you're never going to hear. They're going to just be on the cutting room floor. But we had some great conversations, at least I did, that I'll always remember. I guess. So, yeah. Hopefully we'll get this worked out before Origins next year. I have a year. I have until next June to get this tech issue worked out with this camera and mics, because the next time I will use them will be Origins. So hopefully we can get it worked out. As I said, I'm pretty sure it is the mic or the mic mixer. So, but alas, but Gen Con was a good time. As I said, we did actually do 18 interviews. You'll get to see 3, maybe. Wah, wah. Sigh.
Then let's go into an even bigger sigh, and that is what's coming in from the dungeon. And it looks like what's coming in from the dungeon is a lawsuit.
It is. Yeah, I was really shocked at this, actually. You can remember Titan's Grave. We used to talk about Titan's Grave all the time. It was an amazing show. That was created by Will Wheaton and Legendary / Geek and Sundry. Well, it turns out Legendary / Geek and Sundry owes Will Wheaton just a little bit of money.
A little bit of money.
A little bit. Yeah, back in 2015, that's when Titan's Grave aired. Legendary hired Wheaton to create, write, and executive produce and host the Titan's Grave web series. And in return, it is said he was to be paid $50,000 and get 50% of the net profit of the series. Legendary also held exclusive distribution and promotion rights to the show, but The Hollywood Reporter did report earlier this week that they were to, quote, consult meaningfully with Wheaton before doing so. Between Legendary and Hulu and Pluto TV and Sinclair Broadcasting, they sold some rights to the show so it could be aired on there without consulting Wheaton first. And Wheaton is also charging he did not get all of his royalties. So he wanted to take a look at the books, and they said, nope, you're not going to see our books. Nobody can see our books. So Wheaton is suing for that as well, basically for $100,000 in damages, and he
Yikes!
does want a court to order a full audit and accounting of the books. So he might end up getting more. So that's a yucky situation going on there. So it's kind of sad because Will Wheaton is just a nice guy. And to see him kind of getting like screwed out of that much money just really sucks, especially for all the hard work that he put in to Titan's Grave. Because if you remember, Titan's Grave was well written, well produced, an amazing show. And it just sucks that he's getting screwed the way he is.
So that means then that a gold piece is worth $10,000 then if it's
apparently it is. Pine leaf math there for you.
Pine leaf math there, yes.
So yeah, some more information as we get it, but yeah, this just kind of sucks all around. There was no comment from Legendary or Geek and Sundry over this lawsuit.
All right, so I take it then that we're not going to have any high expectations for season 2. And in fact, I thought that this thing was going to be about the non-existence of season 2. When I first saw this headline, because what? Because they never did season 2.
Yeah, and I kind of thought that too. I'm like, oh, he's suing to get the rights back or something so he can do the season 2. And then it was like, whoa, that's not what it's about at all. Yeah, I'm pretty sure if you're holding out hopes for season 2, probably not gonna happen. Because I'm not sure. I think they co-owned. It sounded like they co-owned the rights to it, so it's like he couldn't go somewhere else and do season 2. So right. they have to work that out, and I think this is going to get really, really, really ugly before there's any conclusion to this.
Sigh. Then let's on to see what's on the tabletop. Where I hope we have better news. It does involve vampires, though, which I guess is going to be upbeat from your point of view.
It's great news.
Ooh.
I think.
Oh, hold on. Another Vampire Masquerade card game?
Sure, because we need more, Pine Leaf. You can never have enough Vampire the Masquerade card games. Our games in general, because there's like 2 board games coming out. There's 2 other card games plus this one. I had no idea that this one was even in the works. This was a surprise to me. Renegade Studios let's try that again. Renegade Game Studios is partnering with White Wolf Entertainment and Paradox Interactive to create Vampire the Masquerade, the expendable card game. Which I must state for the record, I love Renegade Game Studios, but that name sucks. That name is horrible.
All right. Now, I presume that this expandable card game is their version of a living card game?
I assume so. They really didn't release much information about it other than it's going to take place in the world of darkness. You're going to experience all the intrigue and the politics of the kindred society, yada, 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 basically as every other vampire game does.
Right.
So I would assume, yes, this is their living card. And they can't, because I found out the other day, fun side note, Fantasy Flight Games has the living card game trademarked. So you can't, if you come up with a game that is a living card game, you cannot call it that because Fantasy Flight Games owns the trademark to that.
Oh, you didn't know about that?
I did not until the other day by complete accident. I don't even remember why I found that out, but I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. So yeah, we're having another vampire game come out. There's a teaser video you can watch. As I said, we don't have a lot of information on this. I guess I'm excited because I like Vampire and I like Vampire the Masquerade. So
what's not to like?
What's not to like, indeed. So we'll see. I don't know, but God bless White Wolf Entertainment and Paradox for running with Vampire the Masquerade. They brought it back They hit the ground running, and my God, they're giving the license to anybody to make a game. It's like at some point you need to step back and think, okay, maybe we have enough board games, we have enough card games, we have the RPG. Let's take a little breather here. Nope, we're gonna make more games.
Okay, just be careful not to that the vampires don't jump any vampiric sharks.
I see what you did there, Pilot. I see. They can't all be winners, finally.
Well, probably not.
You tried. That's all that counts.
Yeah. Let's head to our week in gaming then, where it looks like your week in gaming was spent at Gen Con.
It was. I did play one game at Gen Con. One measly game at Gen Con. Yeah, I did. As I said, I was too busy getting 18 interviews that you'll never see, sadly. I digress.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually got to play the Horrified board game.
Horrified board game.
By Ravensburger. That is the game where you are heroes and you go into a village that is being plagued by the universal monsters. So it's either going to be Frankenstein, Dracula, the mummy, creature from the Black Lagoon, Invisible Man. I think that's all of them. And you are going to fight said monsters. So you can either fight one monster at a time, or you can do two. Or if you really want a challenge, you can do 3 or 4. The demo game that we played at Gen Con, we were fighting Dracula and the creature from the Black Lagoon. And what you do is it's an asymmetrical game. So you move, you make moves. There are certain items on the board you need to move to. You can move to them. You can pick them up. You only have so many actions you can do it on. And then once you move, the monster's going to move. And each round, one of the monster, it's usually only the same monster, but there's special cards where the monsters will switch this role. But some of the monsters are enraged. So any monster that enraged is always going to attack each round. So they are going to go after the townspeople. And you have a horror track. And each time they kill a townsperson, the horror track goes up. And if the horror track goes up, everybody loses. So you're all working together to defeat these monsters. And each monster has a mini game. So, for example, with Dracula, to defeat Dracula, he has 4 coffins that are hidden around the map. You have to get to those coffins, have to have the right items to destroy the coffin, and then once you destroy all 4, then you can go to where Dracula is, and then you can actually destroy him. Then the creature from the Black Lagoon, his is you have to get a boat through the swamp to his actual hiding place, and you do that by getting certain tokens, and then you play the tokens, and then you move we're gonna have a complete unboxing and a complete gameplay video of this coming up soon, God willing. I can get the mics working correctly. I'm not gonna film that until I know it's working, but this game, amazingly fun. Oh my God, it is so much fun. It's harder than hell too. It is so hard. We won on the last round, about the last play. No, we were playing a four-player game. We ran in the very last round of the game. We only had 2 spaces to where I think it was Dracula was going to move in and kill the final townsperson, and that townsperson, our horror track was on 8. So if it went up to 9, we would lose. The third player actually managed to get close enough to where he could get in and kill Dracula. That was the only monster that was left. So we won at the very last second. If he wouldn't have been able to do that, we would have lost the game. And they did say it was hard with having to defeat 2 monsters, But they said if you want, you can play 3 or 4 monsters. That would be insane.
Whee!
It was freaking hard with 2. I can't imagine. I actually do want to play it with 4 just to see how hard it is. And you can play this game solo. There's a solo variant for it, so I'm going to try it solo to see how different it plays solo versus with 4 people. It's a 1 to 4 player game. So that is Horrified from Ravensburger. That is available now exclusively at Target. Like
Target.
Most of the Ravensburger games. But as I said, look for a review, unboxing, playthrough, all of that fun stuff once I get the mic tech issues worked out. And that is really it. Rest of the time was spent at Gen Con, working and not playing games. What are you going to do? So how about you, Pine Leaf? Looks like you did a bunch of stuff as you always do. Where do you find the time, sir?
Not sure. First, we'll begin with what I did with you. And there we finished up our little time in Sharn, where we ran a Reach for the Sky. And that is the final part of the main storyline. Then we went in to turn in the story arc quest and all that stuff, and they were expecting us to have done Lost at Sea first. Oops. So we went back and did Lost at Sea to fill that in so that we could get our saga reward. Yay! So if I remember correctly, we didn't get much for that.
I think we both chose the experience. I don't remember.
Yeah, that's right. We chose the XP. That's right. We said we needed a little XP in order to
Mhm.
get to the third section of Sharn, so we took
Yeah.
the XP. Then, in my Artificer, I ran Disciples of Shar, Escape Plan, and I'm not exactly the biggest fan of Huelun, so I was thinking, all right, that's enough of that section. So I thought, hey,
when I seen you did that, I was like, what?
it's when you actually get into Huelun itself where it gets to
Yeah,
be really bad.
you don't really like Wayloon Prison itself.
Yes.
Yes.
So I thought, okay, let's try the Great Tree. The Great Tree Challenge.
How'd that work out for you?
Well, let me put it this way.
Okay.
When I got out, I said, let's run Shadow of Doubt.
Okay.
No, the Great Tree did not work at all. Yeah, that was the challenges. I think you have to be in the mood to really run and run and run the challenges so you can understand everything in and out on them in order to do it right. And
Lessa,
being
paging Lessa.
yes, and being in all places at when you're one player trying to be everywhere at the same time.
Yeah,
Says,
doing them
you could
solo is tough. I will give you that.
Yes, and especially the Great Tree where you've got all these attacks coming in at the same time. Say, well, this tree's been destroyed. This tree has been destroyed. This is the Great Tree's been destroyed. Anyway, actually, no, I think I actually ran out of time in that one. Is something really nasty happened there. I did not win. That's the big deal on that. So that's why I ran Shadow of the Doubt, which was definitely the very last one in Huelun I was willing to do. So I thought, all right, how about we go to the dungeons for Ardor, for the Ardor line, the Jewels of Ardor. So I went into the thing of what's a name mines and ran Shadow of Doubt, where we learn just how tough the drow are in the Forgotten Realms, because these are realms drow instead of those relatively easy drow that you have in near Stormreach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah,
I haven't read those quests forever. I like that whole quest.
yeah, but getting by the but getting by the early parts of Shadow of Doubt is a real pain. You're fighting Drow constantly, and I feel like I'm just scratching them every time I hit them. So I did run Shadow of Doubt, then I ran Graveyard Shift, and Graveyard Shift, after getting through of Doubt, the Graveyard Shift, and third time's the charm, I mean. After third time's the charm, the Graveyard Shift seems like the easiest quest ever written for DDO.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, I guess.
Yeah, it's pretty simple, especially compared to some other quests in there. So I got
Yeah.
through that very easily. Then after that, I thought, all right, I didn't have much time left that night, so let's run something I'm familiar with. So I ran Tower of Frost. Did say something I'm familiar with. And that left me with the slightest, tiniest, teensiest bit away from 17. I thought, well, what do I do now? What can I run quickly? And I thought, well, if I just need a slight, tiny, teensy bit, I just rerun Tower of Frost. I mean, who cares if I'm going to have this big XP penalty because
Of course. You only need a little bit.
I only needed a little bit. So I did get there. And in fact, I think I actually leveled when doing the optional where you're supposed to kill the demon. So I was doing that one, and I didn't think that I was going to get enough XP from that fight to do it. But what happened is I hit a point in the monster manual for the dretches. And killing one of the dretches finished up the deed
Oh,
that
nice.
pushed me that put me that was plenty enough in, so I leveled from that.
I love that when that happens that way.
Yeah. So I reached level 17. Yay! And that means I am ready to go back to Sharn for the next round. Then in Minecraft, I ran the August RU hardcore where I went into this was done in a world that was pretty much two-dimensional.
In a world.
That has only two dimensions. Yes. Meaning that you can go forward and backwards and you go up and down, but you had only two blocks to the right and left. So therefore you had very little room in which to do anything in.
Okay.
And to see what I could do with there. And eventually I built a decorated wall. And that was my main build. What else are you going to be able to build in a two-dimensional world?
Well, of course. Makes sense. Okay.
Either that or an ant farm. So that took care of my RU hardcore. And then in Mage Rage, for the first Mage Rage of Flat, well, not quite Flatland, Sam, because in Flatland, I would think of that has been right, left, forward, backwards, but not up and down. Is how I remember Flatland being. Of course, that sort of goes with my history on that. But back to Mage Rage, Mage Rage first run for August, and this week they decided to have some borders that were moving in and out, in and out, in and out. So I had to contend with not knowing where the borders were going to be. So that made that one a very much of a challenge. Then in tabletop apps, I played some more Aeon's End, where this time what I decided to do is to experiment with two mages. So I ran Mystic Kadir against Rageborn, and that worked out pretty well. And after that, I decided let's try bumping up to normal mode and played Brahma and Xastos versus Mask. So it's the first time I played Crooked Mask on the app, and I managed to get through. I managed to get through that pretty handily, I think. So I think I'm getting it down that where I can play with two mages on the app. So I have a feeling what I'm probably going to do in the long run is on the app, play mainly two mages, while when I play it on the physical game on the tabletop, I'll probably mainly play it one mage because I'm not comfortable yet with playing two mages when I'm on tabletop because of having to have the board set out and all of that stuff. because I think I just barely have room for one mage at the moment. We currently have 18 supporters on Patreon, and if you'd like to help support DDO players, simply go to the donations page where you can support the Players Alliance on Patreon. There you'll find rewards, including a mention on the podcast of your choice, or even be a guest with us for an episode of DDO Players News. We did not receive any emails this week, but if you'd like to send us one, you can send it to podcast at ddoplayers.com. And you could also follow us on Twitter at the Players Alliance at Players Ally, DDO Players at DDO Players, Draculetta at Dracula_72, and Pineleaf at Pineapple. And you can follow Drac on Twitch at Dracula_72 when we start up season 2 of Heaven and Hell. The Players Alliance has 2 shows on Mondays now at 7 p.m. USC Eastern Time. We have DDO Players News, and on Saturdays at 8:30 p.m. USC Eastern Time, we have DDO Players News. And you can join us for our shows at ddoplayers.com/live. And that's all for tonight. And this is Polly Needles reminding you to quest responsibly.